Hey all brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to the shipyard where we are building the Galaxy class U.S.S Enterprise D kit from Eagle Moss. I've got another magazine with a load more parts to be working on. Honestly, I haven't even sat down to edit issue 7 yet. Or 8, no, 8. I'm losing track of things at this point. But yeah, I wanted to just get this bit done and then I can finally sit down and work with all the videos that I've been doing. But we have some more work to do, as we probably should, and we're going to be carrying on with things here with the star drive section. We've got a little bit more to put in under here. This isn't going to be quite finished by the end of this issue, but we will be mostly there. One thing I didn't think to mention last week was, well, what's with some of the stuff on the star drive, because like these are still loose but they're not connected to anything that's going to push them up or down, and these have got, like, you know, these have got springs underneath them. They seem to be have been indicated to be some kind of button or trigger for something, and there's just nothing. Like, once the rest of this is all closed off, we're not going to be able to access it. So what's with that? I haven't got a clue. But we have all of the parts that we've got in here, and we need to put them all in place. So I'm going to quickly empty this out and we'll get started. So the first thing we get to do is we finally get to install this little on-off switch into part of this. So there's a little hole here that the actual switch is going to poke through. So I've got to find a couple of screws for that. You're out of the way. And we can get this little bit done. And then I think it's going to be more saucer stuff. So the way this works is, like, there's a little fixture on the back of this for this thing to kind of go into, I think. I don't know if it matters which way it goes round. No, it doesn't say anything in the instructions, so I guess we just do it whatever way we fancy. Okay, that is actually really discreet. I'm really quite impressed with that, but there we go. Nice little on-off switch. Fantastic. I'm glad that works. So now we can discard this and we get to go working on some more saucer stuff. So we're going to be working with this new panel that we got with this section of the assembly. This one's still hanging around from the last issue, and I don't know when I'm going to be using it. Possibly at some point during this, but your guess is as good as mine at this point. So the windows and escape pods have all been fixed in place here. Now we need to take our little bit of hole plating with the recess of the impulse drive, and we need to fix that in, I think, here. Oh, this bit here. Right. So that is the correct piece. Yes, fantastic. Now I need the correct screws. Wait a minute. I forgot to do all the lighting. Oh, I'm glad I checked that before I kept going. Okay, and holding the escape pods in place, that's not as firmly fixed in as I would have liked. Okay. Right, that's a little more firm. Just being very cautious about the screwing process. So now, this piece needs to fix in here, but first we've got to try and put this one onto the saucer. So I've got to sort that before we can do anything else. And we're going to be placing this around here. So this first piece needs to go in there, like that. And then I think the impulse one goes this side. I think it is. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. Okay. Figuring out where I am and what I'm doing, and that's good. Where we go from here is anyone's guess. Right, well, that piece is on, and I'm being more delicate with, you know, screwing into the plastic pieces than I have been in the past. So hopefully we're not going to be having any more mistakes with things messing up there. Now we've got to try and get this piece on. This piece is being decidedly tricky, just for how awkward, like how many different screws and how awkward it is to try and get into this thing. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. I'm just worried about all the bloody windows and everything popping out. Sometime later. Hey, would you look at that? It's done. Oh, that took a bit of effort. The divide between these panels seems a little bit larger than the others. I feel like things haven't quite gone in correctly, but I think I'm okay with it. I'm just going to run with it, and any problems I come up against in the future are going to be entirely of my own design. Let's see if the lights work. Yeah, they do. Very nice. I also realised, like, probably, like, just after I'd been filming the last episode, like, you know, despite the fact that we've got this massive, like, circuit board in this, there's nowhere near enough connections on it. Like, this is going to be riddled with circuitry by the end. But isn't that part of the fun? I think so. It's getting way too warm with this hair down. Fashion just isn't worth it, man. It's hard work. It's hard work looking like this. Right, now we can turn our attention back to... I don't need this. That can go over there. Now we can turn our attention back to the star drive. We're going to be fixing this panel up and getting it firmly screwed in place. So we need... Where are we? This piece. So this is going to be our little array of windows. And I believe that's going to sit in just there, like that. Fantastic stuff. Got to sort out lighting for it, of course. And that is provided in one of these. Which one is it? I don't think it matters, they're exactly the same. There we go, the wiring's all done there with a nice little bit of tape or sticker to just kind of tidy things up and keep that one firmly in place. Now we're going to take this last cable, plug it into our circuit board over here. Get in there. Come on, that's going to need a bit of a prod. Right, I think that is about as in as I can get it, and that's the last wire we need for this portion of the star drive. We've got another running light, so we've got to slip that on in here. Just in there. And then I think we're closing this up. Yeah. So the two cables that we've got running out this side, we need to keep them free and clear for when we put the rest of the neck piece in. But the rest of this can just get tucked away nicely. Alright, there we go. That took a lot longer than I expected it would, because trying to get all of the cables to sit nicely under this was really awkward. But otherwise... Hang on a minute. Are those running lights meant to be different colours? I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're meant to be the same colour. Huh. I'll have to cross-reference that and wait for a potential update. Okay. But that's all in place. I mean, if that running light is going to be an issue, you know, I could just like use a little bit of paint or, you know, marker pen or something to just colour that the right colour. Still a bit of a nuisance, but we are done with this now, so we've got a little bit to do with it later, but that's it for this section of construction. Now this is going to be a bit of saucer plating that I think is going to sit behind the bridge, so like the upper decks are all going to be here, and then this is kind of like the sweeping bit round by the shuttle bay. But we need to start putting all the windows and everything into this one, so better crack on. Well, that one came together nice and easy. There wasn't much to it. All I've got to do now is I've just got to stick another one of these little... is it a sensor array or is it a transporter pad? It's a transport or emitter pad. I'm going to stick that into that little crevice. Oh, it's a fun word, isn't it? You love a good crevice. I like a good crevice. When I'm off duty, of course. Ooh, that's gone in like a beaut. Love it. It's got a really nice texture. I like it. Now that we're on to stage 37, yeah, that's the one. We've got to fill this out with all of the usual business. These windows are getting tiring, man. They really are. Alright, I'm getting on with it. Oh, it only took about 5 minutes to put those in. I'm quite impressed. Now, we've got to sort out this reflector panel, so I'm just wedging that light bulb in there so that I can try and fix this in without popping any bloody windows out of their locations. Because, oh boy, does that cause problems. Right, I don't think anything's shifting from that. Alright, nothing is shifting. It is good. And then we can test the lights, and then we can put it onto the frame. A little bit dull for the time being, but that's because this bulb needs to go in around the other side. And, I don't know, poking through a little bit. Sort of helps. Jeez. Right. Frame time. Right, so this is a piece that's going to be coming in around this side. We're doing more around the front of the saucer. This bulb is what's going to be, you can barely see that, but that's going to be going into the opposite side of this, whereas this one presumably is for the next plate over. I think I'm getting that correct. No, I'm not. That's the bulb I need. I got it. Don't worry, everything's fine. And things are coming along as far as the saucer goes. I don't know how far along I'd say we are. We're getting towards the halfway point. But, yeah, it's still so ridiculous, like I may as well just show it like this. It's getting there. Slowly but surely. I will finish this. Lo and behold, more windows. Be with you in another 5 minutes, probably. Fucking delicate work when you get round to the last few windows. I'm so nervous about them all pinging out. They're done. Right, put it down before you hurt yourself. Hey, panel done, lights are working. Fantastic. Time to fix it to the frame. So we're bringing this piece in right next to the one that we've just installed. Should be funky with where the wires are all going, but we'll give it the best shot we can. Oh, okay. The bulbs that are on this one are both for this reflector panel. The one that's on the previous one isn't. That's very weird. I don't quite get it, but I'm not going to argue. Alright, we're in. Whether we're in business or not, I don't know. But we're getting there. So now we get to go about wiring kind of the remnants of what we've just done. There's still quite a bit of space on this circuit board, so I'm going to be interested to see what else is going in where. Right, so I need this one. Oh, right, we're putting a couple more panels on today as well. Okay, cool. I'm quite surprised for where they've asked for this one to be wired in, because this cable is really short. Like, you can see that this is quite taut as it is, and that's plugged in as close as it can be to that. It's not going to be easy to try and tie that down to the frame. Unless, I don't know. It might be okay. The instructions make it look like it's got a lot more slack than it actually does. I think that's somewhat tidy. I still need to snip the ends of all of these cable ties, but that can wait until a little bit later. For now, I think I'm content with that. But now that we have that section all fixed in, we can fix 2 more pieces of saucer plating going around this side. So I'm going to get that done. And we can move on to the next. Right, I definitely think we're getting on towards like the halfway mark with this top half of the saucer. This is getting to look really good. Oh, I do like it. I don't know if I like my cable management all that well, but it's certainly coming along. Still want to know what I'm going to end up doing with this one. I have been noticing that the numbering on the back of the panels is sequenced going around the saucer, so if I can find like what piece comes before this one, I can have a rough idea of where it's going to go. But that's something to look at for another time. For now, we got to take our second bit of neck, and we got to put these windows in, and they are going in on this side, like so, nice and snug. And that's it. That's how this one ends. Good night, everybody.